1975, Vietnam was an isolated, economically crippled nation. Emerging from decades of devastating warfare, it faced a grueling path to reunification. Today, that same nation is a booming exporter of high-end technology and electric vehicles, anchoring global supply chains with towering neon-lit skylines. This chart tracks Vietnam's gross domestic product. Over just 20 years, the economy exploded. It jumped from a modest $45 billion in 2004, accelerating to $466 billion by 2024. Meanwhile, the traditional standard for Asian economic dominance, Japan, is facing an entirely different reality. Japan's established economy is stagnating, weighed down by an aging workforce. Look at these population projections to see exactly where the lines cross. While Vietnam's young workforce is expanding and on track to reach 120 million people, by 2050, Japan's population is actively shrinking, projected to fall below 100 million in that same time frame. These projections show a closing gap. By aligning demographic momentum with aggressive industrial expansion, a historically battered nation has positioned itself to potentially reach the economic scale of an established giant like Japan. Vietnam's borders form a narrow S-shape, stretching 1,600 kilometers. Its eastern edge is a massive coastline measuring 3,200 kilometers. Inland, the Annamite mountain range forms a natural barrier, pushing the population into the coastal plains, wedged by the South China Sea. This specific geography, a long exposed coast bracketed by the highly fertile Red River and Myeong deltas, made the land incredibly valuable. For over 2,000 years, that value invited a relentless cycle of foreign invasions and colonization. During the 19th and 20th centuries, the French colonial administration prioritized the rapid extraction of cash crops. To move these resources efficiently to the ports, they built an extensive national railway network connecting the north and south by utilizing the vast network of rivers and canals in the Red River and Myeong deltas. Vietnam established itself as a leading global rice exporter, securing a reliable agricultural baseline even during turbulent eras. The exact physical traits that trapped the nation in centuries of conflict, its total exposure to the sea and heavily concentrated coastal populations, ultimately provided the necessary infrastructure to integrate into global trade. Following reunification in 1975, the communist government implemented a strictly centrally planned economy. Cut off from international markets, the exclusionary policies caused severe economic hardship and stalled national recovery. The breaking point arrived in 1986. Recognizing the failures of strict central planning, the government produced the Doi Moi reforms. This transition encouraged domestic private enterprise and actively opened the country's borders to foreign capital. With the doors open, Vietnam could finally capitalize on its 3,200 kilometers of deep-water ports. The state positioned itself as a highly competitive, low-cost alternative for multinational companies that are looking to diversify their manufacturing outside of China. Major corporations took notice. Brands like Samsung, Intel, and Nike established large-scale operations in strategic industrial zones near cities like Ho Chi Minh City, Dayong, and Hanoi. This map illustrates the recent global supply chain shift. As the ongoing US-China trade war introduced uncertainty, American companies diverted their networks directly into Vietnam's coastal hubs to export manufactured goods. This influx of capital triggered a secondary evolution. Vietnam graduated from simply assembling foreign goods to producing homegrown high-tech exports led by the car company FinDesk, which now exports electric vehicles directly to North America and Europe. The 1986 policy pivot unleashed the latent power of the country's geography. By combining market access with an optimal coastal position, Vietnam forged itself into a vital new node in the global supply chain. Unlike Japan, South Korea, or China, which are all grappling with rapid demographic decline, Vietnam possesses a distinct structural advantage. Its population is young and still growing. This demographic dividend compounds across the domestic economy. A younger workforce makes and spends more money, driving up domestic consumption, fueling e-commerce, and expanding the local service sector. To harness this youth, the government is deliberately pivoting its educational focus towards STEM. The goal is to upskill the workforce, moving them off the factory floor and into tech innovation and software development. But this rapid growth has a notable friction point: as billions of dollars flow into the tech sectors. Severe income inequality has fractured the population, leaving traditional working-class areas far behind. Much of this new wealth is consolidating at the top. Massive mega-conglomerates like Vingroup dominate the landscape, controlling wide-reaching operations that span real estate development, pharmaceuticals, and artificial intelligence. This corporate chart shows the risk of extreme market consolidation when a single conglomerate dominates multiple major industries. It creates an anti-competitive environment that stifles independent businesses and locks wealth away from the emerging middle class. While Vietnam faces internal wealth gaps that Japan has largely mitigated, its current trajectory is defined by a younger workforce and a strategic position in global trade. These structural advantages suggest that by 2050, the country's economic scale could eventually exceed that of a shrinking Japan.